Storms raged across the cliffs of Dravamir, crashing waves echoing off jagged rocks beneath a sky painted with fire and ash. High above, an ancient fortress carved from obsidian loomed, home to the enigmatic Dragon Warden, Kelric. Kelric stood alone on the high balcony, his golden eyes reflecting the firelight dancing across the horizon. Rumors named him a tyrant, a warlord veiled in shadows, feared for his merciless rule and his bond with dragons. But few knew the truth. Kelric upheld a sacred vow, one passed down from wardens before him, to defend the realm not from enemies, but from itself. That oath was tested the day the guards brought him a girl, barefoot, bruised, and cloaked in silence. Her violet eyes were wide with terror, her body trembling as if she'd just crawled from the depths of a nightmare. She bore the crest of Eldara, Kelric's greatest rival, but instead of ordering her execution, he saw something else: resilience buried beneath fear, dignity beneath the grime. The girl said nothing for days, refusing food, shrinking from touch. But Kelric, ever patient, did not press. He offered her warmth, quiet, and time. Eventually, a name surfaced between shallow breaths: Arelyn, the name of Eldara's long-lost princess, presumed dead for years. Her body bore the scars of captivity, and her spirit bore the wounds of betrayal. Kelric listened. He didn't ask for gratitude, only her truth. Slowly, through shared silences and wordless kindnesses, a fragile trust began to grow. Arelyn watched him command dragons with gestures more gentle than violent, saw how he treated even the lowliest of his people with fierce fairness. Weeks passed, then months. Arelyn found herself laughing again, quietly at first, then more openly, startled by the sound of it. Kelric taught her to wield a blade, to move through the castle's halls with purpose, not fear. She read with him in the ancient library, challenged him in strategy games, and stood beside him as he mediated disputes with his commanders. In return, she showed him how to soften his grip on the world, but Eldara had not forgotten its lost princess. A formal envoy arrived at Kelric's gates, masked by diplomacy but sharpened with veiled threats. They demanded Arelyn's return, claiming she had been abducted. She stood in the hall beside Kelric, no longer trembling. When he asked what she wanted, her voice didn't waver. "I would rather die than return to that prison." Kelric's oath burned in his blood. He chose war. Preparations began immediately. Dragons were summoned from distant mountains. Alliances forged long ago were rekindled. Kelric's fortress became a stronghold of resistance. Arelyn, now dressed in battle leathers, joined the strategy councils. She trained tirelessly, her movements gaining strength and precision. Kelric watched her transformation with a strange ache in his chest: pride, fear, and something far more dangerous. One night, after a brutal training session, Arelyn collapsed beside him on the tower steps. Wind whipped around them, but neither moved. Finally, she whispered, "You make me feel unbroken." He looked at her, and for once let the storm in his heart rise to the surface. "You were never broken," he said. Their kiss was not tender. It was desperate, fierce, born from nights of stolen glances and silent yearning. It shattered the last walls between them. But love did not come easily. Kelric feared what it meant to love a princess of Eldara. What if she chose to return one day? What if she saw in him only the beast the world claimed he was? Arelyn feared what it meant to love a warlord. Could she truly be free in a place where loyalty bound her to him? Then came the siege. Eldara's armies descended upon Dravomir with fire and steel. The battle that followed shook the heavens. Dragons soared above, unleashing torrents of flame. Kael'ric fought like a god of war, every motion lethal. Arelyn led her own unit, striking with speed and fury, her blade a blur of vengeance. The turning point came when she faced her former captor, her uncle, Lord Malric. His sneer faltered when she met his eyes without fear. Their duel was brutal. He tried to goad her, to belittle her, but she answered with silence and steel. Her final blow was swift and just. She walked away without looking back. When the smoke cleared, Eldara's army lay scattered. Dravomir held. Kael'ric, bloodied but unbowed, found Arelyn at the edge of the battlefield. She was staring at the rising sun, her face streaked with tears and ash. "What now?" she asked. He took her hand. "Now, you choose." She turned to him, eyes steady. "Then I choose this. You, our future." They were wed beneath the broken sky, watched by dragons and warriors alike. She was no longer a prisoner, no longer a pawn. She was a queen by her own right. And Kael'ric, feared warden of flame, found something stronger than vengeance: hope. Together, they rebuilt not just their realm, but a legacy, a sanctuary where strength meant protection, not domination, where love was forged not from rescue, but from rising together. The tale of the Dragon Warden and the lost princess became legend, not for the war they won, but for the world they dared to create afterward. And high in the mountains, where obsidian meets sky, the flames still dance in honor of the oath they kept.